Hello boys and girls, welcome back to Story Time with GrannMaPat. I've been away for a while, but I've come back with some beautiful stories that I'm going to read to you. I went to a conference a few weeks ago and I met a wonderful young lady, and her name is Kimberly P. Johnson. And she's written these wonderful children's stories just for you. The first book that I'm going to read tonight is called The Adventures of the Itty Bitty Frog. And again, it's by Kimberly P. Johnson, and the wonderful illustrations are by Scott Arnold. Now, let's look at this. This is a big frog. And when you look here, this is a little frog. And what do you think that is? That's an itty bitty frog. And that's what our story is about. It's about the itty bitty frog. Down by the river in the coolness of the light was an itty bitty frog that had been there all night. He scampered and scampered through the grass so green. He was the cutest little frog you had ever seen. He hopped and he hopped through the fields so tall, and he chatted with the mice as they sat on the wall. Now, how many mice do we see? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. The frog waved at the bees as they buzzed along, and he listened to the crickets as they played their song. Then the itty-bitty frog had just stopped for a rest when he saw a little bird that had fallen from her nest. Let's see, where is that little bird? There's that little bird. And there's our itty-bitty frog. And let's see over here, what sound do the bees make? I think they sound like bzzz. And what do the crickets say? Chirp, chirp, chirp. All right. The bird lay crying at the bottom of the tree. He shouted out loud, "Please help me." Well, the frog hopped over to the tiny little bird. "Are you the one shouting? Are you the one I heard?" The bird nodded his head and stuck out his chest. "Yes, I'm the one you heard. I fell from my nest. When I fell from my nest, I began to roam. And now it looks like I'm a long way from home." And then the frog looked down and said with a sigh, "Hush, little bird. There's no need to cry. I'll get you home to the top of the tree. Don't worry about a thing. Just leave it to me." The baby bird said, "Thanks. I don't mean to complain, but I'm awfully scared and it looks like rain." So the frog made a bed to keep the bird dry. He turned his head up and he looked towards the sky. It was a long way up to the top of the nest, but the frog was determined to give it his best. And here's the frog, and he's looking way up to the top of the tree to where the baby bird's nest was. He hopped and he hopped until his legs grew sore, and he searched until he couldn't anymore. The itty-bitty frog sat down to think for a while when he heard a faint cry, "Where is my child? Where is my child?" The frog ran into the woods to see who it could be. It was the sad mama bird sitting high in the tree. She had tears in her eyes and a broken heart too. She had looked all over and didn't know what to do. The frog jumped up and yelled loudly, "Look down here, Mama Bird at the bottom of the tree. I found your baby, and he's not too far from here. He's lying safely tucked away, so there's no need to fear." I'll go and get him as quickly as I can. The frog turned to hop away, and then the rain began. At first, it started slowly, with just a drop or two. And then the sky grew tired of that and let the rain pour through. But this didn't stop the itty-bitty frog as he hopped along the trail. He had to get the bird home. He didn't want to fail. You see the tiny drops of rain here? Just a few drops. And now the rain is pouring down. And the itty-bitty frog, he's got to go and find that baby bird. Where is he? When the frog got back, he didn't know what to say, for a giant flood had come and washed the baby bird away. So the itty-bitty frog began searching through the forest and trees, and he even asked the crickets, the mice, and the bees. No one had seen the baby that had fallen to the ground, so the frog kept on searching and looking all around. He looked under the rock and over the well, and then he saw something move, but he really couldn't tell. Now here's the frog, and he's looking over the rocks down into the well. Now let's see. So the frog got a little closer and peered without a word. And sure enough, to his surprise, it was the baby bird. The frog picked him up quickly and gently shook him dry. I'm taking you to your mama so you don't have to cry, so she doesn't have to cry. The bird chirped loudly with excitement and with glee. Thank you, Mr. Frog. You're kind to help me. The frog took the baby to the smiling mama bird. She said, you're an honest frog because you really kept your word. The frog smiled back and said, I didn't mind. I wish everyone we met could be a little kind. Then the itty-bitty frog turned around in the coolness of the light to happily tuck himself away for a very pleasant night. That was really nice, wasn't it, boys and girls? The itty-bitty frog. Remember, there he is. He's going to sleep. But what did he do today? He had a busy day. He found a baby bird that had fallen from her nest, and he saved her and took her to her mom, and that way her mom could take care of her and put her back in the nest. And it's nice when we can help someone that needs help, and that's what the frog did. Well, thank you, boys and girls, and I hope to see you again tomorrow night.